All right, welcome back. If you've ever been in a pharmacy, you've definitely seen the product we're getting into today.
Oh, for sure, the blue bottle.
Exactly. The La Roche Posay Toleriane Double Repair Moisturizer with SPF. It's a huge seller. I think they've sold something like 20 million of them.
It's massive.
So our mission today is to cut through all that hype, look at the science, and figure out what you're really getting.
And before we dive in, I have to do the mandatory reminder. This is all educational commentary. It's not medical advice. We're just focused on transparency here.
Right. So let's start with why it's so popular, especially for people with sensitive skin. It's the key product in their Toleriane line.
It is. And the reason is that its foundation is built on really solid moisturizing ingredients.
Like what?
Things like ceramide 3, niacinamide, and glycerin. These are genuinely great for your skin barrier, that outer layer that protects you.
And the brand makes a pretty big claim about that barrier,
Not
right?
here.
They do. They claim this formula can repair it in just 1 hour. And to be fair, with those ingredients, that claim is, it's plausible. It's supported by the science behind those compounds.
And it all fits that classic French pharmacy brand image. Founded in '75, now owned by L'Oreal, uses that special thermal spring water.
Right, the one with selenium. So the moisturizer part, it seems totally credible.
Okay, but what about the sun protection, the SPF?
The SPF part is also verifiable. Independent tests have confirmed it gives you a legitimate broad-spectrum SPF 30, so it protects against both UVA and UVB rays.
How do they do that?
They use 4 specific chemical UV filters. You've got avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene. They work together to make sure the protection doesn't just, break down in the sun.
Okay, so the product works, it moisturizes, and it protects from the sun. But let's talk about those 4 ingredients, because that's where the story gets a bit more complex, isn't it?
Exactly. This is where we get into some ongoing regulatory questions. The FDA, back in 2019 and 2020, actually flagged all 4 of those chemical filters.
Flag them how?
They basically said more safety data is needed before they can be fully confirmed as safe for systemic absorption.
Hang on, systemic absorption. What does that actually mean for someone using this every day? Does it just sit on your skin?
Well, no, that's the point. It means the ingredients could be absorbed past the skin and get into your bloodstream.
I see.
And some peer-reviewed studies show these specific ingredients could be absorbed at levels that are higher than the FDA's threshold, the threshold that, triggers the need for more safety tests.
How much higher?
Some data suggest detection levels could be up to 40 times higher than that threshold after just 1 use.
Wow, okay. 40 times.
And what's more, the data suggests these chemicals might stay detectable in the bloodstream for weeks after you stop using the product.
Weeks. Okay, let's single one out. What about homosalate?
Right, so if we look at international standards, things are a little different.
Mhm.
The European Commission has suggested that concentrations of homosalate above 1.4% may need a closer look.
And this product has?
This specific formula contains 5% homosalate.
Okay, so 5%.
It's not a ban or anything like that, but it does show that there are different views globally on these concentration levels while they're under review.
So let's bring this all together for you. What does this mean? The product does what it says. It's a great moisturizer, and it gives you real SPF protection.
But the way it achieves that protection involves these chemical filters where the science on systemic absorption has led regulatory bodies to ask for more long-term data.
It's a trade-off.
It is the essential trade-off. If you want similar benefits without that specific concern, you could look at mineral alternatives, sunscreens with zinc oxide.
Right, which are available at similar prices, but their trade-off is sometimes that slight white cast on the skin.
Exactly. They block the sun physically instead of absorbing the rays chemically.
So ultimately, you have the information now. You have the proven performance on one hand, and the scientific questions around the ingredients on the other.
So the final thought we want to leave you with is this. When a product clearly works well, and this one does, how do you personally weigh that proven effectiveness against scientific data that's still being investigated by regulators? It really comes down to informed choice.